One of the core things that I talk about a lot is Africans penetrating the U.S. market in places like Michigan, and I think oftentimes we have this spirit of being insular. And what I mean by being insular is that we work in our own individualistic silos, not understanding the importance of connecting the dots of empowerment and economic impact that can create a synergy as well as an ecosystem that can create wealth. And I think part of the main problem with that is because the way we think. We have this perception of, if you live in Africa, you have this perception that either the United States is this wonderful mecca of opportunities. And if you live in America, you think Africa is this either this wonderful opportunity a mecca, or you think it's backwards, depending on what narrative you adopt. And we have to begin to educate ourselves and break down the walls of ignorance on both sides of the Atlantic if we're going to be taken seriously within the confines of the fourth industrial revolution. Africans should invest in places like Michigan. Here's why. Michigan, and I'll start with my home state, Michigan, has the fifth largest advanced manufacturing workforce in the country, right here in the U.S., with more than 65,000 workers employed in advanced manufacturing industries. This state ranks in the top 10 nationally for aerospace manufacturing attractiveness. So if you're into aerospace manufacturing, aerospace engineering, and you want to take that knowledge base back home to Nigeria or Kenya or wherever you come from on the continent, this is the state you need to be in. Michigan has the highest military vehicle production in the U.S., with 37% of the total contracts in the country. It's also a national leader for employment in industries related to the fourth industrial revolution and automation. When you look at 96 of the top 100 automotive suppliers to North America, they have a presence in Michigan. 71 are headquartered right here in this state. And Michigan has the greatest concentration of mechanical and industrial engineers, over 4 times higher than the national average. Michigan has the most extensive network of autonomous vehicle and mobility testing infrastructure and the nation-friendliest laws for testing self-driving vehicles. You could take that same knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on the continent and if you belong to an organization or a chamber of commerce on the continent of Africa, and you're listening to this broadcast and you hearing me out, you need to go to GABAnetwork.com and reach out to me, GABAnetwork.com. I also want to tell you this right now about the state of Michigan. Now, their mobility industry here, folks, directly employed nearly 570,000 workers statewide, which supported an additional 526,000 indirect jobs, which is a total amount of 1.1 million jobs, or 20% of the total Michigan employment, and directly and indirectly contribute to $125 billion in value added to the state's economy, which is about 23% of Michigan gross state product. And then you look at technology, Michigan ranks in the top 10 nationally for total STEM degree completions. The state has 80,000 workers employed in technology cluster industries, with most talent concentrated in computer systems design, services, and customer computing programming. Michigan Cyber Range is the largest unclassified cyber range with hubs stationed across the state. And the world's largest tech companies, including Amazon, Microsoft, Google, are investing throughout the state of Michigan. Folks, this is where it's at here in the state of in Michigan. And then when you look at developing your supply chain, you could take a city like Romulus that is set up for supply chain, where the airport is located, Amazon, General Motors, All these infrastructure, logistics infrastructure is located in Romulus. You can set up your hub, right? Control your market, folks, through the African Growth Opportunity Act, and create a distribution hub for Africans, by Africans, for Caribbean, by Caribbean folks, that we could distribute our own food supply. Michigan has a strong imprint when it comes to agricultural business and technology. And linking those resources with a hub like Michigan State University to the continent of Africa is a win-win for us. And I'm saying we can create a distribution hub, folks, and then we go to these African markets, right? We target these African markets with our products that we're getting directly from back home. You see that? Then we don't need to go to the Hispanic. We don't need to go to the Asian. We don't need to go to the Arab. We can feed ourselves and empower ourselves as one. Do you see where I'm going with this, folks? And then through that supply chain, you create a technical supply chain, an e-commerce supply chain. You create trucking. You create van services, deliveries, and things of that nature that creates more jobs, both direct and indirect, to create our own ecosystem that is linking the wealth both to AGOA and the African Continental Free Trade Area back home by way of a foreign trade zone. GABAnetwork.com. You need to check out our website at GABAnetwork.com. That's the Global African Business Association.